Hello, let's never mind the fact that I posted the exact same video twice in a row. I don't always have my shit together. So, today I want to discuss male sexuality and a lot of problems, or maybe a core problem that arises in that. My thoughts, obviously men have not been upholding themselves very well. I want to look at the source of why that is. Why are men acting this way? And my thoughts, my theory is that men are pretty fucking miserable sexually. Now, I don't say this to justify any action or say, oh, poor men, look what we're going through. But I think that if you want to make any sort of change, you have to look at the core of what's going on and look at this and say, hey, look, this isn't working, right? These ideals, these beliefs that we have about our sexuality, right, about what we should accomplish, what we should do, they obviously aren't working. They're obviously not fulfilling us, making us satisfied, making us happy, whatever the case may be. You can look at catcalling, for instance, right? Why the hell do men catcall? I'm not sure if it's ever once worked. It's not even portrayed in movies or TV as working, right? It's usually the guy does it and the girl's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And then the guy's a huge asshole. So why do guys do it, right? I mean, I don't think anyone does it thinking it's gonna work. I think that it's done as a cathartic release. It's this sexual repression that's being released out, right? And guys, a common theme is to blame women. She presented herself this way, therefore I responded with this, right? With a catcall, or I hit on her, whatever the case may be, sent her a dick pic. I've certainly seen attractive women and had very strong feelings rise up in me and oh, I have to do something about this. So I think maybe that's, where that comes from, is you have this really strong repression that when it comes out, it's uncontrollable, right? So you don't take responsibility for it, right? You put on, oh, if she didn't walk by. I mean, sure, certainly, if I never saw a single woman in my life, then, I don't know. That's really absurd, right? I mean, I guess that just goes to show how absurd that idea is of blaming somebody else. But all the same, it certainly doesn't feel like you have control over yourself. I think it's the ideas that we have of sex that we're not being fulfilled, that we're not creating a human connection when we have sex. Because ultimately, I mean, right, that's what sex is. You have two people or whatever form you want to do this in. But it's there should be a human connection there on some level, right? And it doesn't have to be love. But there needs to be something happening. And I don't think that happens. I lived with players for a while. And they had, they would go out and get different girls all the time. And they had tons of sex with tons of different women. But the way they talked about sex, it didn't seem like they actually enjoyed the act of sex. They enjoyed the game of getting girls, they enjoyed the validation it gave them, but the actual, connection wasn't there. They weren't ever being, sexually fulfilled or satisfied through their experiences. It was 2 minutes, in the bedroom or whatever, and then it was check off the box, another one. And the way they talked about it, it didn't seem very pleasant. It didn't make sex seem appealing, the way they talked about it. The only thing that I really got from them was pizza booty call, where you booty call somebody, but they can only come over if they bring pizza, which me and my girlfriend adopted, and it's either extra awesome or extra degrading, depending on how you use it, with great power, my friends. That lack of connection, right, is what causes us to be unsatisfied, right? Not being there, not being present, not being a part of it. Is what causes us to be unsatisfied, and then we're unsatisfied, we have the sexual repression, and then we seek this happiness through trying to have sex with as many girls as we possibly can, through catcalling, through these cathartic experiences. That's my take on a lot of the problems going on with men. And their sexuality is just these ideas that we have of what we want, of what will make us happy, and nothing's making us happy, so we keep trying, we keep doing all these things. And this isn't about morals or ideology, right? This isn't about oh, you have to do this, you have to be in love. It's just what works, right? What works, what doesn't work. What is making the people who are sexually fulfilled and satisfied with their life, and what is making the people who aren't. You can say all these things. You can say, oh, we're wired to have sex with as many people as we possibly can. But is it working, right? Are you actually legitimately fulfilled, or are you just lying to yourself and trying to chase this ideal that's not working for you? All right, peace out. Next time I want to start another series on art, actually, which kind of goes off of, I don't know, I've been talking about a lot of culturally relevant stuff, or I try to, but I'm going to talk about art in maybe 4 or 5 videos, try to intersperse try to get some more entertaining stuff in between. I'm going to look at it from the perspective of this book called Capitalist Realism, which I may actually just go through on this vlog. So if you want to pick up the book and look through it, you know, feel free, and I will see you guys next time with that.